How's it going, guys? Welcome to my new character build series in Gedonia, where we build around the endgame epic armor sets. Today we're going to be looking at the bull armor set. Let's dive in and have a look at the armor. Starting attributes are going to be 3 strength, 3 agility, and 2 intellect with 0 charisma. So the armor itself, it just like has the aesthetics of the bull, 1 shoulder pad charging in, the horns on the helmet. It's a really cool looking armor set and feel like a barbarian. Let's jump into the stats. The unique stats for the bull armor set, the 2 items you get, Whirlwind and Powerful Strike, can spawn a charging bull, but with all 5 items, Angry Strike spawn 3 charging bulls. And charge doesn't require stamina, has an 8-second cooldown, deals huge damage during charge. What I like to look at is just the actual chest armor of a set, and that sort of tells you how it sort of plays out. So here you've got a bit of physical and magical absorption, got a bit of critical strike, knockdown power, so you can obviously knock down targets, a little bit of health, tiny bit of stam. You got your melee damage, magic resistance, and attack speed. So you're pretty much like a 2-handed bull at a gate, just going crazy, get in there, do your damage, get out. That's how I look at it. And then also we have the Cloak of the Shadow with this armor set, which I like this one because 250% melee damage. That's damn good. But this will boost your DPS pretty high up. And for accessories, we have chosen the Butcher set. So if you have 2 of the Butcher set items, every melee attack has a chance to slash target with Butcher's Hatchet, dealing 200% damage. But if you have all 4 items, multiple Butcher Slices. So this can just decimate enemies in a group. All of the Butcher accessories come with boost to melee damage. Alright, now let's see what weapon we're rocking. The weapon that we're going to rock in this build is the Spirit of the Magma, stage 3. So you'll have to ascend this living weapon to stage 3. But every hit can generate Rage of the Magma buff, which increases melee and elemental damage. After getting 30 stacks, causes a giant fiery explosion, which deals damage to all enemies around and spawns fiery rocks flying all directions. Each rock can spawn a lava tentacle, which then attacks your enemies. This is just a 2-handed axe, 160 damage. The knock power is strong, so that obviously complements our knockdown stat in our armor set. We also have 160% damage to elemental magic, 8% of critical strike chance, and also stats to your health and stamina. So you might look at the elemental magic stat in this weapon and go, why isn't it melee damage? Well, I'll get to that in the skills. So here we are in the skills. We are going to go through each tree individually, starting from left to right. And we are going to start with Ferocity. And what we want to do is put 2 points in a Powerful Strike, because obviously our armor set can summon a Raging Bull if we use Powerful Strike. And that's why we have picked Powerful Strike, and obviously does a lot of damage. It'll do 500 damage plus apply a bleed effect to our target. We also have Charge level 2. Obviously, because we can jump around the battlefield and just knock down all enemies. And you want level 2 because you get invincibility during the jump. You want War Scream level 2. This will give you a buff of 150% more melee damage for 10 seconds instead of 4. And it can also knock down enemies around you. Next up we have Whirlwind Strike. So this is going to be our AoE damage dealer. Jump into the middle of a group and spam Whirlwind Strike. And this will just decimate your enemies. Next up we have Rage. You want this because every strike will boost your damage even higher. So every attack with the 2-handed weapon will give you 2 stacks of Rage, and that will equal to 1% more damage. So the more stacks of Rage you have, the more damage you deal. And also we want to pick up Angry Strike, because 2-handed axes will then use a vertical slice with huge damage and restore 33% of your health. Every 80 Rage that you pick up, so you'll have 40% more melee damage, then the Angry Strike will automatically use up 80 of that Rage, deal huge damage, and heal you. It's pretty damn good, pretty handy to have. And of course you have the Mastery skill, which doubles the rage generation, and it'll increase your attack speed. Next up, we have critical strike level 2. So you just have a bit more, you'll have just 5% more crit chance, really. It's pretty basic. And also level 5 melee damage, which just increases your melee damage by 70%. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. And then you have two-handed weapons level 2. So this is just a passive. And when you use two-handed weapons, your damage is increased by 30%, attack speed by 20, and crit chance by 4. All right, next up in combat mastery, we want enchant weapon level 2. So with enchant weapon, we can infuse it with any magic spell that we've buffed ourselves with. So we're going to go level 2. So you'll get that elemental buff, and if you use it again, you also get a cleave attack that deals 50% of main weapon damage, and that's scaled with melee and magic damage bonuses. But next up, we've got level 4 Rend. This will give 20% chance to cause bleeding to the enemy, which is what you want when you're using it with Whirlwind Strike, putting Rend on as much enemies as you can very quickly, so your DPS will go through the roof. Next up, we have Piercing Strikes level 2. Each attack has a chance to apply trauma effect to the target, which reduces movement speed, attack speed by 20%. For 15 seconds. The chance increases with more armor piercing effects applied. You have a 33% chance to apply a stacking armor piercing effect that increases received damage to target by 1%. But the more piercing strikes you have on a target, the lower their armor is, so the more damage you're doing, and you can also reduce their movement and attack speed. And then we just picked up level 4 fencing as well, just for the combo, and we can get a 100% chance that one of the armor piercing effects will take place at the end of the combo. Next up, we have blood magic, and all we want in this tree are the bloody attacks level 3, just a 10% chance to restore 8% health. Every attack has a chance to restore health all the time, so we can keep our survivability up. Next up, you want hunger for blood. This increases your attack and movement speed by 5% for each enemy near the player. The more enemies near you, the higher your attack speed and movement speed are. So again, charging into a group of enemies and smashing that whirlwind. Very good. And the last one, you just want another passive, which increases chance of bloody strikes triggering by 20%. All right, this is where it gets a little bit weird. So in elemental magic, we got that up to 15. And we also got the fire element, level 2. With the element, we're just going to enchant our weapon. So we just get like we can burn enemies with attacks, and that'll do a little damage over time, not too much. You can apply it to your weapon, and then you apply it to yourself. So this applies to you, which will randomly damage enemies around you, so you do a little bit more damage. And then we want to pick up Focus the Element. So with our fire element in hand, this will create a firestorm in the area, damaging all enemies nearby. And then we also want to pick up that mastery skill, Focus the Element Effectiveness. Each 60 seconds, it won't consume our element, but we don't have to reapply it. Moving on to defense, you just want to get survivability. Level 2 just increases your health, really. That's pretty much it. Immovability, which increases your knockdown resistance, so you won't get knocked down as often. And also the mastery skill. Don't need the shield bash, but that increase of total health by 30% is huge. That's what you're really looking for. Even if you don't get other 3 abilities, try and get the defense master, because that 30% goes a long way. And moving down to the talents. So we used our 30 points in here, and then we just picked up the level 5 health bonus, increases health by 500. The melee damage bonus, which increases melee damage by 250%, which is massive. Defense bonus, which increases our armor and magic resist by 5. And also the speed bonus, which increases our attack speed by 15% and movement speed by 1.25. So with the Raging Bull, you want to fight sort of like a barbarian. Get in, do all your damage, and then get out. But we do want to put our fire element on before a fight, and also our fire weapon enchant. Okay, we should be ready to go. So here we're going to pick up all of these guys. Now these guys are pretty bloody tough. You can gather them in a group. Use your firestorm. Use your war cry. You'll be doing all of your damage. Charge in. get that stun on him. Even run out, use your shockwave. War cry again. There's the Raging Bull. Dodge up, which was a bad dodge. There's the tentacles that spawned. That was the damage without any enchant, so you can boost that even higher if you want, or even just take out intellect entirely and just focus on strength. Alright guys, that's going to do it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video and enjoyed this build, and I hope you enjoy the many other builds I have coming your way. So thanks so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Alright guys, take care.